What's up everyone, welcome back to an Animal Crossing video. This week we will be doing tips and or tricks. I've seen a ton of videos on YouTube and a lot of them have been really useful, but at the same time there are a couple things that I have not seen that I have discovered in the game myself. There is a chance that these are in other videos, and if they are then I will credit them. I did just get Bangle's photo the other day, so now I have 3 photos. Been doing pretty good. I mean, got one like every 2 weeks, I want to say. It does take a while to get photos, even when you craft them. You can give them gifts and everything, so we're gonna go ahead and head out to do that. I do keep a ton of stuff in here. All my tickets are here, all my iron ore, gold ore, wood, everything that I kind of need to craft I keep here, because I do craft just here if I need anything. But whenever I'm going, let's just go outside the house so I can show you. Whenever I am on the go, you know, there's everything that I have to do every single day, so that includes digging the fossils, watering any plants that I need to, catching anything that I need. Usually does depend on the Nook Miles. So this is my wheel setup. I have it in kind of an access of what I use the most. I think the one tool I use the most is probably the shovel, so that's why I always have it down here, because I can just go down and shovel. And I have it up here for fishing, because I used to fish a lot, and then catching bugs. So those are right next to each other if I ever need to switch from land to sea. You know, like if I'm fishing and I see a bug, I have my fishing rod, then I can go whoops, switch to bug. But other than that, since most of the other stuff I do is chopping down trees, I have my axe right here ready to go. I have my slingshot here because I don't use my slingshot as often. I do get a couple balloons an hour, but that depends on where I am on my island. I have my ladder here because I don't use it too much, to be honest. Like, the only time I really use my ladder now, I used to use it all the time because I needed to get around, but the only time I really use my ladder is to get up here on this cliffside. And that's usually because this area is blocked off, so I can't use my ladder down here. I've seen people that use the golden wands in the wheels, and I don't really use it that much, so I kind of keep it just in my inventory. And that moves us into inventory. This is what I recommend that you have at all times. Whoops. So these are my tips right here. I always recommend starting the day with at least 10,000 bells. So when you have your gold, when you have this little gold hole, you can do that. So, you know, you dig up your gold pot, you get 1,000 bells. You can go ahead and do this both in one. You just put it away, and then you bury your 10,000. Now there's a whole bunch of videos about what the percentage is and what your island seed is. So I guess it all depends on what your island is. I keep it safe and I just plant 10,000 bells because that is a guaranteed 30,000 bell profit. So this right here, you can see that my money is at 19,000. So we're going to shake these down, and it's going to be 1, 2, 30,000 bells. I just like to keep this organized. So here's what goes for my pockets. Now that I've shown you my wheel, I recommend having just about basically all your tools down here. I need to go check with Boots real quick, see what's going on with him. If your villagers ever give you tasks like this, especially if you want to be best friends with them or already are best friends with them, I highly recommend always doing what they ask for. So these are all my items. These are all in my wheel. So I just keep them up there instead of being random, because I know then that the first 2 rows are never going to be random objects, and everything after those 2 rows will be random. So the tree branches, weeds, fruits, any flowers, stuff like that. Items that I'm giving my villagers, items that my villagers give me, those will always just stay here. I always keep a stack of Nook Mile tickets, just either in case I need to visit someone's island and I can leave some Nook Mile tickets as tips. You know, I can just grab whatever I need, and you know, just if I'm giving them 5 or 2 as a tip, then I can just do that. So I usually always try to carry 10. Right now I just have 8 because I use it sometimes to go Mystery Island hopping, and that way I don't need to. I'm basically always ready to go anywhere. These are just kind of materials that I use as I craft along the day, so if something breaks then I can just make stuff, because you know, I have the branches, I have rocks, I have clay, I have gold if I need it to make like a golden shovel or golden watering can. I have all the wood that I need, and then I have iron nuggets. So right here I have 30 tree branches, so by the time I'm done with all my morning stuff I can probably switch this out and then leave this one in my house and then just keep whatever I have there. And this is why you always want to have your slingshot handy, so you can get these. So I don't really fish anymore. I like to keep the variety. I have do not dive, I barely ever catch bugs, and I barely ever fish. And as that might seem kind of boring, it is actually really nice, because when you do go out of your way to go do all that stuff, it feels like you do it because you want to, not because you feel like you have to. So we are going to shake these trees just in case, because I have no idea which one of these are money trees. I didn't know for a long time that you could actually catch the wasps. I'm going to be running out of space soon, so we're going to go ahead and take that, and I'll probably just sell it. So that means there are 4 more possible wasp nests, and looks like we have our first piece of furniture. And our second wasp nest. It gets so much easier the better practice you have. Look, we have money over there too. That's so annoying. I hate that that happens. Like, I get that, you know, it needs somewhere to go, but so we'll grab that before I forget. This is something that I feel like you should know playing Animal Crossing, because it's something I wish I would have known. A lot of times you cannot see what is behind trees, especially if you have a bunch of orchids like this. And this is really a pain when you're trying to have a clean island and you're trying to rid it of all your weeds, because, you know, if you time travel, you have a bunch of weeds, and sometimes there's weeds back here, and you cannot see the weeds back here. To press the X button, it just gives you your look at your inventory, but you can always see behind a tree. So you will always be able to look behind you and just kind of see through. And that works for all the trees. So if you're right here and you need to see behind the trees, you go right here and you can see. So you'd be able to tell, you know, let's say, let's put this fossil back. See, so if you're coming from here and you're running here, that'd be kind of easy to overlook if you don't have a keen eye. Like, you know, it's not as, this is like easy to spot because it's, you know, in plain sight. Like, and that's why I try to plant a lot of my island that way. Like, you know, I have bushes and flowers here, so the fossils will not spawn over here on these sides. But if it spawns here, you probably already forgot where the tree was. But how am I supposed to see? How would I ever know that this fossil is behind this tree? I've missed so many fossils doing this. You can barely even see it. So what you need to do is go behind your trees and press X, and bam, like, it just shows you. And that's actually really useful as well. See, I totally just missed right here. You can't see either, so you can do that with X. But right here, I used to have fossil spawned anywhere between here and the back, and you cannot see that to save your life from the corner. So I don't know if it's just me. It kind of bugs me that he welcomes me to the Peach City Museum every single time. Because it's like, you know, not to brag, but the museum wouldn't be here without me. So, like, you know, I'm kind of the reason you're on this island right now, even, brothers. So, like, I understand, you know, he's just greeting me and whatnot. But it's like, I built this museum, you know, like, I donated the materials, and I keep this museum alive. Like, you know, I'm not trying to play God here or anything, but, like, you know, you know, these creatures didn't just show up in the exhibits by themselves, you know. So alright, so then we're gonna get, oh, they sell balloons now. We're We're gonna buy wrapping paper. This one looks like crocodiles. And we're gonna buy 2 bulk because I have 6 fossils. And we're also gonna buy some medicine because I'm just about out. Oh, look, a hamster, so kawaii. Alright, so here comes my second tip of the day. I kinda hate the way that you need to wrap things. Like, you hit here, you hit wrap, then you go over to an item, wrap the item, then you go here, wrap, go over to an item, wrap the item. I'm not a fan of doing that way, so I figured out doing this instead, just like you do with your Nookmon tickets. Oops, damn it. So this is the way I recommend doing it. If you don't already do this, then I would recommend starting because it makes your life so much easier. Of course, it depends on if you have the inventory room to do so, because if you have a bunch of fossils like all around the area, you got fossil here, fossil here, fossil here, then obviously that's gonna be hard to do. This is why I keep my inventory the way that I do, and why I recommend having the first row or 2 dedicated to materials that are always gonna stay. I'm going off topic for a bit. I always recommend having medicine on you because when you visit villagers, sometimes they are sick, and if you think that you have medicine but you don't, and you tell them that you have medicine, and then they say, oh really, and then you go in inventory and you don't have medicine, I've heard that you lose a friendship point for lying to them about having the medicine. So I always keep a full stack. Back to this tip, keeping your wrapping paper spread out like this makes it so much easier because all you have to do is go down, and voila, easy as pie. We are going to go ahead and give these gifts, and I'm probably going to fast forward this area because I've already done a whole video on gifting, and if you haven't seen it, I will put the link up there.
Oh, spiders! Spiders! Get them off me! Get them off me! Get them off me!
And this is why you should always shake your tree, and for 2, always carry medicine. Next tip is the money tip. This is when you've already been doing your daily tasks and you already have your weeds and your fossils, and this is what happens when you're already at 99,000, basically at your max of your wallet, and you want to shake so many trees. You're like, oh boy, like I'm gonna get some money. So you start shaking trees down, and then before you know it, you run out of pocket space, and you're like, what? But I have like at least 6 slots left. I should have been able to get that. That's because it does this. And I don't know if a lot of people notice it, but I started to notice it right away. So you can immediately just combine all these together. Obviously you can't put any more in your wallet, but now you can pick that up, and you can pick up all of these, and it's gonna say it again, but I'm just gonna go ahead and let it do that. So you're like, what? But I just you're like, what? So you can fit all these into one, and that gives you your 90,000. That actually lets you go up to 99,000, so you still have more room technically if you wanted to. If you happen to have a couple more money trees, you can turn that into 99,000, then that turns into 1,000 bells, and now you have more room, at least so you can go to the bank to go do some more things. I haven't seen that in any video yet, and speaking of, we can do the same thing with the money rock. So we're gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna show you that too. Probably should have shaken these trees, because remember, you don't want to have any wasps come out of these trees, so always play that safe. See, exactly, just there is a method to the madness. Like, it's not that I wanted to catch wasps. Now I have even less space to show you the money trick that I want to do. And with the shovel, you can do this trick where you dig the little spot behind you to get you stuck, and look, wow, money rocks I can try. And then you can just kind of go away at it, and it'll always give you the guaranteed 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. So now we're going to show you, of course we're kind of limited here on what to do, but so there is a way to make this work, you know. It just kind of sucks. If you really want to do it too, I would recommend just do this 99 here and just quickly drop it, and then just go here and pick up all the money that you need. And watch, it's not even going to organize in your own pocket. So you can do that, and bam, you saw how you had absolutely no room for more money, but you were able to just like scramble everything in the last second. It just all really depends on how you organize everything. I wish these pockets could go for more than 99,000 bells, so you could just combine this, you know, but that's just how it is, I guess. But it's always doable. It is always possible to do to get that money. So just in case, say this was, you were on a mystery island and you hit Money Rock Island, and all of a sudden you have all this money, but you already have all these other materials, so you can't fit money in there. There's always a way to do it. As long as you have a couple free space, you can always do that, you know. And you can always just, I could drop these stones, I could drop all these pieces of wood, I could drop this DIY, I could drop this clumps of weed, I could definitely drop this fuzzy vest because I already have another one. I could easily drop a wasp nest and the wasps themselves. So let's see here. Since I chop down a couple trees just about every day, whether I chop them down or just harvest wood itself, I always have wood, right? So these are now full and this is full. So what I like to do is I'll switch that out. Since I barely use stones for most things to craft, I'll switch these out, and then I will throw these in my inventory, in my storage, because I already have those full. So as I go throughout the day, you know, when I'm hitting rocks and mining rocks, I get more stone, I get more clay, I get more gold, and I get more iron. Now, if I were to go on a mystery island, then I might want to be full on all of them, because I'm not sure how much I'm going to need to craft and everything. But otherwise, I keep it to bare minimum, to be honest. You know, I'm going to pick up tree branches every day from the trees. I'm going to get wood every time I chop trees. So I have that, because if you do that, then you don't think about the items that you already have in storage. And, you know, before you know it, your inventory is gonna look, your storage is gonna look something like this. Every time you fill up on weeds, put the weeds away. If you harvest fruit, you can put the fruit away. So you always have that, so you don't have to shake down a new tree to do that. And like, look, I have 3 stacks of hardwood. I have a lot of stacks of softwood. I have a bunch of, like, I forget that I have this many tree branches. But you know, if I need to make something, like, I think the hedge DIY needs weeds and tree branches, so I have that at all times. And I have stacks of wood, so if I never need to craft stuff that requires like a ton of regular wood, then I already have it, so I don't have to go and chop down like 8 trees in order to have the amount that I need. And the same goes for clay. I have a bunch of clay, and I barely ever use clay, but every time it fills up to 30, I just drop it and restart, so I can do that. Same thing with iron. Look at how much iron I have left to spare, but I only carry like 13 or whatever's in my inventory. And same thing goes with gold. That's what allows me to have stuff like this, you know, stone fencing. If I need it, I can just drop everything I need and craft all of these things, you know. And you know, I always forget that I can also chop these down, because these will never give you wasps, and they're great to have. I honestly recommend having your workbench always handy is really awesome, because you can always have anything that you need to craft and be able to craft it at all times. Again, you know, I am just a veteran Minecraft player, so I'm used to carrying enough in my inventory where I can survive, but not too much where I'm gonna have to pick and choose, you know, between essential things I need to drop. I hope you enjoyed this video. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time with another Animal Crossing video. Always subscribe if you're new. Please give a like. There's that link to that gifting villagers video if you want to see that. I have other Animal Crossing videos that I will put at the end of the video if you'd like to dig into that. I do have some really awesome tips and everything that I'd like to share. This is my first Animal Crossing game ever, so you know, I learned everything on my own. I had a bunch of help with Facebook groups and YouTube videos, a lot of YouTubers that I follow for Animal Crossing videos. And I want to be able to put out my own content out there. You know, there's a bunch that other people have already covered, and I don't want to be another repeat video. You know, I don't want to be a washed down video. I am trying to produce my own original Animal Crossing content. So I appreciate and support. Thanks for everyone that's been subscribed for the amount of time that you've been. Thank you to all the new subscribers who are now supporting my newer content. And I'm doing my best to put out as much content as I can every week, trying to stay consistent with everything. I will see you next time, and thank you very much for watching my video. Thanks. Have a good day.